Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a birthday reading for Leos during Leo season. Hello, guys. How you guys doing? Hope everything's going well for you guys. If you are a returning viewer to this channel, or if you're a new viewer, or whoever you are, you may know that this is a very special reading that I've never done before on my channel. I'm starting with Leo, doing these birthday readings because, well, I am a Leo, and I'm doing it to not only just create new content for the channel to see what I can work into my schedule and what I can sustain for future readings, but also, you know, I just want to celebrate everybody's solar return, you know, and of course I'm going to start with my people, my Leos, right? So it's something I worked on, something that I created, and so hopefully you guys like what you see here. I've meditated on your energy with this deck, the Spirit Within Tarot deck by Stephen Bright. It's a nice little sort of impressionistic deck. If you're not familiar with it, I'm a fan of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a 6-card spread. You'll see it. It kind of, hopefully, mimics a cake, because who doesn't like cake on their birthday? I mean, some people really don't like cake, but I have a feeling the strong majority of Leos are going to like cake, okay? So meditated on this energy previous. We'll do a couple more shuffles, and then we'll get into this hopefully amazing reading for Leos, right? Got a lot of stuff going on. I'm recording this on the first day of Leo season. It's 23rd of July, so happy birthday to any of you early Leos here at the tail end of July. And of course, happy birthday to all the other Leos that will be celebrating through most of August. But yeah, I hope everything's going well for you guys. We need it, right? With there's a lot of retrogrades. What is it, like 5 planets are in retrograde right now? We've got some new moons coming. Just the energy is pretty it's pretty intense, it's pretty thick. It might be slightly confusing for me so far. There's been a lot of technical glitches, and I'm not sure if Mercury retrograde has started yet, but for me it's come out with the technology so far for me. Anyway, like I said, I did meditate on this deck previously. I'm just kind of getting reestablished with it while I give you guys a chit-chat. I will put a link, or excuse me, not a link, but a timestamp in the description box below if you guys don't want to hear anything I have to say here. You just want to get straight to the reading. I respect that, and I put that down there for you guys who want to go ahead and skip ahead. For others of you, what's going on? Yeah, same old, same old. If you're interested in a personal reading, all that is going to be down in the description box as well. Scheduling is, I'm going to tinker around with some things. I think I'm going to nix one type of reading I was doing previously. I don't think I'm going to bring it back. But another type of reading, the weeklies, I'm going to try my best to bring those back to the channel. Working a full-time job, having social obligations, it's not easy. Finding time to do these videos, especially when you talk as much as I do, right? So hopefully you guys understand, Leo. You know, there's, to be this great, to be so fabulous and awesome, you know, there's not enough hours in the day. Part of that is a joke. I'm just kind of egging on the stereotypical side of Leo. I think nobody knows a Leo better than another Leo. And so all that ego stuff is for the birds. Like, that's for like the surface understanding of who we are. Deep down inside, there's a lot of layers to us. It's not just ego. It's not just aggrandizing or anything like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this spread going. I think I want to, do we want another little, yeah, we want a bridge, so. And if you've been with my channel a while, you'll see that I'm actually going to lay this differently than I normally do. I'm actually going to lay this out, like each card, differently than I've ever done it before for my other videos, because that's just what I was led to do when I was designing this layout. And it's not like a super crazy layout, but still, well, almost. That's good. When the cards start to want to emerge, it's like, oh, we're getting closer, right? We're getting closer. Another bridge. One more bridge. Cool. Thank you. Alright. Leo birthday reading July 23rd through the August 22nd. This reading's for Leo between July 23rd and August 22nd. Let's show Leo some messages. Thank you. Number 1. Then we get into number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No bottom of the deck energy. I think I'll do an oracle at the end. So Leo, let's go ahead and flip these guys over, and I will introduce them all to you considering their position. And then once everything is flipped over, we're going to get into it, going one by one. Alright, guys. And again, this is the Spirit Within Tarot deck by Stephen Bright. I really like it. I like decks that are a little impressionistic. They leave room for interpretation, you know? I really get into it. And plus, I'm also like a colors person, you know? So I like the contrast between the dark and the actual colors on the card. Now, card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right? That's how I counted them out. So your first card coming in, Leo, to this birthday season is representing the past. Where are you coming from? What are you kind of already established with? What do you know about yourself? What do you know about your situation? What's sitting in your toolbox right now, right? So we got the 9 of Pentacles. Fabulous, right? Look at that. It's fabulous. Even though you can't see the details of the woman's dress or the details of her hair or anything like that, we already know this lady is styling, right? So Leo, how you're coming into your birthday season is you're feeling fabulous. You're feeling strong. You're feeling confident. A lot of us are feeling abundant, right? We're feeling really in our energy, in our place, in our lane, right? And what lane is that? It's a lane that's geared towards success. It's a lane that's geared towards getting the best out of life and getting the best out of a situation, and not at anybody else's expense. It's about, no, I've worked to be where I am. I've worked really hard to become the person that I am today and who I'm going to become in the future. And I think, Leo, we're just like in this mode of staying in this energy. Like a lot of people, I think, would borrow the 9 of Pentacles energy and like sort of like as a pick-me-up. But Leo, I think like this is like, given that it's your past, I feel like it's what's been on your mind. I think it's like the attitude and the demeanor that has served you well to get you through whatever trying times you're coming out of from your past, right? And so also 9 of Pentacles could be triumph over a certain situation, right? 9 of Pentacles also traditionally is considered like the single lady card, the single fabulous and amazing female card. You don't have to be a female to relate to that energy, but in a specific case for some of us out there where there was a relationship or there's been a dating situation, a marriage, whatever it is, you're coming out on top. If that situation dissolved, if that relationship is no more, or it's, you know, sort of, you know, in its final stages, I think what's going on is you're springboarding out of that with this energy of resilience, this energy of a rebound. Not a rebound in the way that, you know, some rebounds go where, you know, in order to get over somebody, it's best to get under somebody else. For some, that might be the way of going about it, but I think it's more of a rebounding as in, your, like I said before, your own energy, your own demeanor, your own attitude, and your own self-reliance, self-understanding. Just, it's a great position to sort of bring with you from the past. So that's sort of the energy that greets us in this birthday period. It's also the energy that is basically sustaining us as a foundation, okay? Now, the second card is what's going on now. What's the core in this time of the birthday season for Leo? The core of Leo right now is the 8 of Pentacles. So that's nice, right? A lot of earth energy in both the past and the present, so some grounding going on there. So some of us are out in nature or have a need to be in nature, out enjoying having the sun on our backs and being in our element and basking in the glory of, you know, the light that supports all life in our universe, right? Especially on our planet. So Leo, some of us are out there in nature having fun playing, or some of us are actually doing like hard work out there. So some of you might be gardening, some of you might be building a shed, or doing construction work on your home, or your work itself, like what you actually do for a living, has you outdoors. Regardless of it being outdoors, there is still this feeling of industriousness. There's this feeling of being hard at work. There's this feeling of being on the task at hand and not relenting until the project's done, until all of the blood, sweat, and tears that you can muster are poured out of you. Now, and for some, I'm getting this is like a really like creative endeavor. So I think like a lot of Leos right now are not only concerned about their bottom dollar, making ends meet, making sure food stays on the table and all of that. I also feel that some Leos are wanting to get back to creative work, getting back to work that fulfills them in another way, not just sustains them in terms of money and resources and, you know, and being able to keep a roof over your head and like I said, food on the table. There's also this feeling of wanting to do work, like actual work that you put effort into, that again stimulates you, fulfills you, makes you feel as if you're contributing to your society or to your community, but there is a creative flair to it. So I rarely get this. I'm getting like a really specific image of like a community center that deals with children or at-risk youth, maybe youth that are, you know, in poverty, homeless youth, LGBTQ youth, I guess just disenfranchised children is what I'm getting like a lot of visuals of right now. So some of you Leos, like this might be a transition in your work, or it might be a facet of your work where you're having to come up with creative and innovative ways to serve these communities of people or these populations of people that need a helping hand. If that's not the case, again, it's just you're on the task. And I think it's definitely related to that Nine of Pentacles energy. It's like, this is who I am. This is who I envision myself to be as the Nine of Pentacles. And in order to keep this going, there is some hard work that has to be involved. The Nine of Pentacles, similar to how, although it's not the Empress, but there is this energy around the Nine of Pentacles about being self-made. And Leo, as much as Leo is a luxurious sign, a sign that's known for having finer taste and having a certain quality or expectation with what, you know, brings joy and happiness and is just fun and exciting for Leo. A lot of that kind of paints a picture of a life of leisure. And Leo can be a lazy sign. Leo can be a happy-go-lucky sign. But I think Leo, and I think I've mentioned this in other readings, general readings, love readings that I've done before, when the solar return happens, the birthday season of any zodiac, not just Leo, there is this feeling of turning the microscope and the care and the consideration inward. And Leo, I think what's going on is just this feeling of, this is what I want, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to be. And there is this sense of not taking that for granted. This doesn't happen just because you snap your fingers, you wish for it, or you wait around for someone to come along and say, oh, here's abundance, here's money, here's feeling contentment. That doesn't happen. You have to work for it. So these two cards are working hand in hand. This is what you want, and this is the effort that you're putting to maintain this feeling, to maintain this status. Do you understand what I mean? So lovely, right? Very nice. Now in the third position, Leo, we're looking at what's coming towards us right now. What's down the line? What could we expect? And we have the Devil card. And in this deck, I love this card. I don't know why. I just really do. And I don't know why, I specifically don't know why I like it, because, you know, you do have this devil figure, but then you kind of have like this little figure of a child or an infant. And it's way different than the traditional Rider-Waite interpretation, or depiction, I should say. But anyway, card of Capricorn. So there might be a Capricorn of significance in your realm somewhere, or you might have Capricorn significantly placed in your birth chart. Regardless, though, in the future, there is going to be temptation. There is going to be something or someone around you that wants to derail this. Could be your own energy, could be self-sabotage. It doesn't necessarily have to be an external force. Like I said, it could be a significant placement in your life, or just sort of this ideal, or this self-defeating fixation. There's this self-defeating prophecy some of you might be struggling with, some of you might face routinely during your birthday season, you know. And of course, if we're out celebrating, it's beyond temptation. This is also a card of indulgence. So, you know, going out and celebrating your birthday with your friends or your family or whoever, there is this temptation to indulge. So that could mean more drinking, more eating, all kinds of overconsumption. Like, that's sort of another tale within the devil card, is there's this tendency to go overboard, to indulge and be gluttonous and be just you know, maybe some of you are like planning like trips to Vegas, and like I'm seeing like just up and staying up until the sun comes up, you know what I mean? Like you head out on the town 9 p.m. on your birthday, you don't get in until 9 a.m. the next day. And you might stay up and have breakfast, so you might not even crash until about noon, you know what I mean? So the devil card in name can seem kind of scary, and even in some of the imagery that you see on different tarot decks might be a little intimidating. But the thing to know about the devil is it's a temporary energy, same as anything in tarot. Everything in tarot is temporary, everything is mutable, everything is changeable. So if you have this feeling of not wanting to be tempted, or you're weary of temptation, you're weary of your indulgences or your tendency to go overboard, be aware of it. That's the best weapon you can have coming into and out of a tarot reading, is just to be a little bit more aware about your circumstances, about the energies at play, what might happen, what might occur, what you might encounter, okay? So I wouldn't worry too much about the devil card. And the devil card, like I said, it also is about control. It is also about control. So some of you might have in your future an uptake or an upswing in your ability to control a situation, or have some type of clout that you can apply to a situation. More power. So if you're becoming more independent between the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, you might take on the energy of the devil card to sustain and, like I said, to control and actually lead yourself further down whatever path you're choosing for yourself. I'm keeping this very general because obviously it's not a personal reading. And of course, I don't know what area of your life, Leo, or fellow Leo, I should say, that this applies to. So again, this could be something involving your work, since it is Pentacles here, and the devil, again, is related to Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So there's a lot of groundedness going on here. So this could be about your stability as far as your job, volunteerism, as far as any kind of creative endeavors. This could be about money. Maybe some of you are getting financially independent from someone. Maybe some of you are younger Leos and you've never actually really had to work too much in your life. Maybe your parents or other people were sustaining you and supporting you. Maybe you were in college for 4 years and all of your bills were kind of on a pause, and now that you've graduated, or now that you're out in the working world, now you kind of have to budget, and you have to kind of control your impulses to not, get on Etsy and buy everything that you see, not to go into the mall and hit all of your favorite stores and, buy everything, whether it's on sale or not. So there's this feeling of being aware of where you've come from and where you are now, and being slightly weary, slightly worried about what might come down the line. But again, if you have the foreknowledge, if you have an inkling, if you have an insight, you can recognize it coming down the pipe. Oh, if we go out tonight, if you're celebrating your birthday, I can't go over a certain dollar amount. And I mean, if it's your birthday, I mean, should you be buying your own drinks and your own dinner? I mean, come on, what kind of friends, like, what kind of people are you hanging around? Hopefully, hopefully other people are buying your drinks that night. But regardless, if you're aware of your tendency to overspend, your tendency to get loud or boisterous once you've had a couple of drinks, just be mindful of that. And when it begins to kind of show signs that it's coming, like, oh, I'm getting louder, I'm getting a little rowdy, or, you know, some of us get a little confrontational sometimes when we're out, and other people are like, hey, why don't you chill out? And, you know, Leo doesn't like to be told to chill out. So there is that if you know that about yourself, Leo, having that knowledge allows you to take on the situation with a little bit more insight, in my opinion, okay? Let's get on to position 4 and 5. Now, these are what I call the gifts or the presents, or what basically might be helping you as you go through your birthday period, okay? As you go through your solar return. Additionally, if this is the base of the cake, you can think of these two cards in position 4 and 5 as like the icing on the cake. And what do you have? You've got beautiful cards, Leo. You've got 4 of Wands in position 4. So, talk about a nice nice icing on the cake. 4 of Wands, stability, structure, having a happy home, having a happy relationship. Like, you've got these 4 posts, right? Which signals connectivity, which again signals some type of stability in a certain. God, I'm all not in frame. I'm sorry about that. But it represents structure, stability, strength, connectivity, right? And then the center, you've got 2 people holding, they're holding hands, right? So we can assume that these 2 people might be dating, they might be married, or they're just really strong friends. They're really strong friends, really close friends, like best of friends. Like, I don't know about you, Leos, but, you know, there are certain friends where, you know, you can't imagine your life without them. Like, I've got a few friends where, you know, we bicker at each other like we're married, and people look at us like, oh, are you guys a couple? I'm like, no, we're just really good friends, and I know everything about this person, everything about me. And, you know, we get on with our lives as if we are, you know, lifetime partners or even soulmates. And so I think there's a certain significance in this energy for you coming into your birthday month and sustaining across your birthday month. Or I keep saying your birthday month. It's not the actual month, but you know what I mean, between the 23rd of July and the 22nd of August, roughly 30 some days, right? Anyway, there's a significance of connectivity, not necessarily of a particular relationship, especially one that is romantic. That could be quite significant for some of you. That might be something that weighs heavily on your mind and on your heart. But what I'm feeling more so is that Leo, ruling the 5th house, and that's the house of children, and that's the house of fun and all of that. I feel like there's always this wanting to have a community of people around you, no matter how big. It could be 5 people, could be 50 people. But there's this interest in connecting and having a significant connection, a very poignant connection with each member of your community. So if you do have a family, if this is your partner and you guys are wanting to expand your family or begin a family, okay, so you have a partner and you want a strong bond with that partner. In your future, Leo, or what would be constantly on your mind, or something that you would be very conscious of, is when I have a child, or when we add another child to our family, or the children that we have now, I want to also have an established and strong connection with my children. I want to have a strong and established connection with my in-laws, and I want my partner to have the same with my parents and the people who I call my family. If this is not family and all of that, and it's just friends, same difference. You have friends. You want to be close with friends. You want to have just these bonds that go so deep that they feel innate, that they feel as if you were just born this way with this connection with this person. But Leo, of course, you know, same as if you had to build these 4 posts. It doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come just because you wish for it. It doesn't come because you just hope for it. It doesn't come because you snapped your fingers or you think you have a magic genie in a lamp. No, to construct this took work. The same thing can apply to relationships. To create bonds with people, you have to put in the work. And Leo, you're very aware of that. You're very, very, very aware that even if you expect a connection, which is kind of also that's why I chuckled, because part of Leo's demeanor or attitude is, well, I know I'm a good person. I would make a great friend. I would make a great husband. I would make a great wife, whatever. Leo is usually pretty confident. I would make a great whatever relationship status. So I would make a great sister. I would make a great wife. I would make a great teacher. However you can define yourself or label yourself within a relationship to another person. You're confident in your position and being able to sort of fulfill your duty or fulfill your role. The work comes in when you have to negotiate and sort of compromise and make concessions with other people. And not to say that Leo's attitude is, oh, I'm perfect and I'm infallible and everything that I do in any of my relationships with anyone in my life is always amazing. No, it's more of like it comes natural to you. You're so willing to put in the work to make it work. Okay? Do you see what I mean? You're willing to put in the work to make it work. That's what I'm getting here, is like your willingness to put in effort is unwavering, right? It's not a question. The issue, and you're aware of it, Leo, is how much other people are willing to put in, how often, how much energy, to what extent are you expected to do XYZ and all of this stuff, the negotiations, right? And so that's the work that's necessary in the 4 of Wands. And again, I think it's like your awareness is helpful. I also think because it's a significant goal, like I said, this is like this covers the base of the reading. This is the icing on the cake, right? So a lot of people want this, but then again, are not aware of the work necessary to get that. Leo, you know the work, you do the work, and you're willing to continue to do the work, even when other people might be less enthusiastic, other people may not be exactly on the same page with you. You're willing to work with other people. Like, it's sort of almost in a sense, like I'm getting a visual of like someone like one person, like a parent, let's say, is walking down the sidewalk, and excuse me, their toddler is behind them, and they kind of reach their hand behind them. The parent isn't walking so far ahead of their child as to leave them behind. And in order to ensure that the child doesn't get lost, doesn't get deterred, doesn't get distracted, they give them a signal, the hand reaching behind, as a way to express, I'm here for you. I'm willing, come with me. I'll take care of you. I'll guide you. I'll do this. I'll do that. So again, it's like this willing to sort of reach across a gap or extend a hand, extend help in some cases. This is like coming across in many ways. And again, it's coming across, it's coming on top of these 2 cards specifically. So again, that could go back to what I said earlier about some people doing, it could be your primary work or it could be volunteer work, but whatever, you're doing work with like at-risk youth or certain populations of people that need that helping hand, that need someone to extend their hand and help them and guide them and be a mentor and all of that. And that's beautiful work, Leo. I mean, Leos are naturally charismatic. natural born leaders and people that others just tend to without even trying, Leo. And I think, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm preaching to the choir here. When you don't intend to lead, you still end up being the leader anyway. A lot of times, like, people will defer to you for your opinion, defer to you for your knowledge, defer to you because you have such a positive disposition, or you have such an amazing sense of humor, and you just will lighten their load. You'll lighten their day with like a nice little anecdote, like, oh, I didn't, some people are like, oh, I didn't call you for anything specifically, I just wanted to hear your voice. Some people, other Leos that I've talked to, we have shared the experience. People will literally call us. I'm not a fan of my own voice per se, but people have literally called me to say, I just needed to hear your voice. It just always makes me feel better. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy to help you. So that's what I'm feeling with the Four of Wands. That was really extensive, but like I said, there was a lot of messages there. Now, your other part of the icing on the cake, Leo, again, what might be a gift to you, what might be helping or guiding you in this time of your solar return is the Queen of Wands. So hello, we are in our element, right? Queen of Wands, two Wands cards, so 2 cards related to the fire element. And this is definitely, the Queen of Wands is a woman who, similar to what I was just speaking of in the Four of Wands card, is a leader, a born leader. All the court cards in their own right lead or act as the head of state or act as a figurehead in some type of way. But I think when you talk about the wand suits, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, action-oriented, wands are related to fire. That is that initiate, that is that creative, burning, churning energy that just drives a person forward, regardless of their zodiac sign. If you come across the wand's energy, or you embody or get in touch with Wand's energy, you're aligning yourself to energy that is interested in results, interested in progression, interested in creativity. So all of those things apply right now, Leo, in this solar return period, in this birthday period. So, like I said, a leader. So this is, again, some of you are knowing going forward, since this touches the future card as well as the present. Some of you know that you're going to have to take control of this project. You're going to have to take up those reins. You're going to have to guide your team or your family or your partner or even yourself. You have some of us, excuse me, one second. Okay, Leah, sorry about that. But like I said, some of us are having to lead projects, family members or family dynamics, work dynamics, and others, it's just going to be like an internal leading. You're going to have to become sort of the CEO of Leo Incorporated yourself, and you're board appointed or whatever. You're coming out of a period where maybe you were a little bit adrift, maybe you were a little bit, like out to lunch, you were on an extended vacation of sorts, and now you're coming back to yourself, coming back to your own power, and you're going to be about the business. Queen of Wands, King of Wands, those two court cards would definitely be, like I said before, results oriented. They have certain goals, they have certain dreams, they have certain visions that they are like, I'm going to put legs to this thing, I'm going to make it work, I'm going to make it a reality, and nothing's going to stop me. Also on this card, you do have a cat, or yeah, it's a cat, which is on the which is on the Rider-Waite traditional depiction as well. So some of you might have an interest in working with animals, because again, it's touching this industrious energy, which is where I was talking about the volunteerism. So again, that's an at-risk, in-need population, animals, working with essentially defenseless animals. So some of you might have a passion that's aligned with that, working at shelters, working at local pet hospitals. Maybe some of you, since this is work, you might be in school, veterinary school, right? But the icing in combination is, again, it's very grounded in or grounded in. It's very focused on stability. It's very focused on having a very clear vision and executing certain plans, executing certain endeavors that will guarantee or at least help the vision come to life. There's a lot of potentiality here, meaning, I shouldn't say it that way. There's a lot of step-by-step incremental things that I'm feeling here. Everything leads to like the leveling up. Thank you, leveling up. So, Leo, I think the Four of Wands would be one of your goals, if not the goal, right? And again, that could be family, friends, that could be romantic partnership, that could be extending or actually initiating a family with your partner, bringing in children or fostering, whatever you're doing, right? But however the Four of Wands applies to you, I think that's like the next level. Now I'm getting like video game hits, right? So like Four of Wands is like the boss battle. Like I feel like it's that when it comes to clamping down on this energy, you're going to have to put up a good fight, or you're going to have to put your best foot forward. You're going to have to just lay it all out on the line. And the Queen of Wands is going to help you because again, action-oriented, results-driven, results-oriented, right? And she's quite a warrior. I think the Queen of Swords might be the queen out of all of the court cards that's like known to be the one who's like willing to get into the fray, mix it up, do a little fisticuffs, maybe perhaps literally, right? Get into like an actual brawl. But actually, I feel the Queen of Wands also shares that title or shares that description because she's sort of like she's sort of like Rocky, you know? Like I've had 50 movies. If you call Sylvester Stallone right now and be like, look, let's do another Rocky. I mean, granted, he moved on to the Creed series, but still, you know what I mean? Like, at what point did Sylvester Stallone decide there's no more of this Rocky character? Never. He might not be in the ring in the Creed series. He may not be the one fighting, but he is still Rocky Balboa. He will be Rocky Balboa in his 80s. He's going to turn into the gnarly crustacean, over with life, boxing coach. Get in there and kill him. Although Rocky probably wouldn't say it, but he would fill those shoes. What's that character's name? Mickey, right? Eventually, Rocky Balboa will become that old, practically decrepit man. Sylvester Stallone will not let that character die. He will always revive him in some form or fashion until Sylvester Stallone is dead. Now, that's really bleak, but you see what I mean? Like, that character persists and will always be willing to come back into the fray. That's the Queen of Wands. I have fought. I was a world champion. I did hold the title. I lost the title. Leo, there's not a Leo who would be watching this video that hasn't lost something, that didn't feel down and out at some point. And if you haven't, you're probably young, and if you're not, then you're just really lucky, and I tip my hat to you. But for the majority of Leos, you've experienced loss, great loss, in some form or fashion, relationship, family members, cherished friends, jobs, passions, your own self-worth, whatever. The Queen of Wands is that fighting spirit that says, we can do it again. We can get back in there. We can win this again. Let's go. She's like, enough of this. We were sad. We're going to get a pep talk from Adrian. Don't do it, Rocky. I gotta do it, Adrian. Whatever. And after that happens, you put on the gloves. You shimmy on into your little ringside robe, and then you go out there and you do 12 rounds. So there's this fighting spirit within the Queen of Wands, and she's fighting for the Four of Wands. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, at the top of the cake, this little very sort of geometric cake that I've created, you've got the Ace of Cups. Now, what comes at the top of a cake in your birthday, right? It's the wish. It's the candle, right? So what are you wishing for right now, Leo, in your solar return, in your birthday period? You are wishing for the Ace of Cups. So, for those where this is hit in your relationship sector, and you're like, oh, this could apply to my relationship. This is your confirmation. Yes, you want that Ace of Cups. You want that new offer. You want that love connection. You want to be able to be so open from your chest, from the core of you with another person. Now, this doesn't mean it has to be a brand new person. This could be a revitalization if you have an established relationship, if you're long-term married. This could just be, I want to look at my partner and just feel like I'm falling in love with them all over again. In other cases, it is, I've been single for a while, or I'm getting out of a relationship now, and maybe I want to go on to something better or be with someone who treats me better. For others of you who aren't going to go from one relationship to the next, this could just be a revitalization and a renewal of loving energy towards yourself. Because again, there was this, this Nine of Pentacles here, again, the single lady's card, hard at work. And again, I said earlier that this temptation and this weariness of faltering, this weariness of potential failure or setback can be energy that you are guiding or aiming towards yourself. So this interest in a renewal and in a revitalization, in this upswing in love energy can be geared towards yourself. So any relationship towards yourself, single, not looking, single and looking, married and committed and on your way to marriage, whatever. There's just this feeling of, like you just want the floodgates of your heart to be open. You don't want to have to board it up. You don't want to have it, contained behind a thick wall of concrete like the Hoover Dam, okay? You want to let that emotion out. There's like this feeling of a release, of a huge gushing release of water, right? Now that's specifically towards any type of relationship. In a non-relationship sense, maybe, you feel pretty good about yourself and you are not having issues connecting with people or feeling effusive towards others. This could be, again, since we were talking here about work, and also, again, wands being energy towards creative endeavors, creative projects, and things that sort of drive the passion in you. This could be just this interest in sprouting a new idea, one that comes from a heart-centered space in you, Leo. Thank you. For, again, the at-risk youth, maybe working with pets, whatever population, for those of you that are interested in volunteering, or, those endeavors are becoming more like of what you think your work should primarily be. Maybe you started volunteering at an animal shelter and now you kind of want to do like a fostering program. Maybe some of you are you're interested in developing apps and other technologies that will aid homeless and at-risk animals or animals that are slated to be put down. You want to get them into new homes. So you might have an idea that you're trying to give birth to that is not only creative, but it's also full of compassion, because again, cups deal with our emotions. And this is for this group, I'm feeling there's like this, you feel fulfilled with people in your life, your wife, your husband, your children, your best friends, whoever. This cup is an offer of compassion to people you don't know, or other living beings, other entities such as animals that you don't know, that you don't have a one-on-one connection with, that you don't have an established relationship with. This is still this wanting to give, and it sort of like covers a mass of people, or a mass of a population, many will be affected by this one thing that I'm able to create or extend out into the world. So again, you could be thinking of a creative app that helps you find homes for animals that need to be fostered, or anything like that. Or even with children, not like you can do like Airbnb for like children or something like that. But you see what I mean? You're trying to marry your creative energy with this wealth of emotion, this depth of emotion, okay? And that would be your greatest wish, is to be connected in a loving energy with other beings, not just people, not just animals, with beings. Leo, I think in this time period of the solar return for you, you're very connected to your heart space. You're very connected to this radiating energy that is just coming from the core center of you, that says, not to be all cheesy because it's not usually my style, but it's this energy that is basically saying, I am love, I am light, I am peace in this world, I am compassion, I am caring, I am loving, I am empathetic, I am sympathetic. I see you, I value you, and not asking for much in return. If anything, that Ace of Cups is feeling much. I think some want it offered towards them. They want to accept someone's cup, or accept a love offer, accept compassion and care from other people, for some. But for the majority that I'm feeling this for, it's, I'm giving it out. I don't need anything back. Giving and not expecting a return. Giving and not waiting for the hand to come towards you. It's more of a, I see you're in need, I see you're in pain, I see that I could be of use here with my skills, whatever. I offer myself as tribute, you know, is kind of the energy, Leo. Very beautiful for the birthday period, right? So we're going to get an oracle card. I used to do oracle. I don't really do them for many of my other readings, but we're going to use the Divine Circus deck by Alana Fairchild. And we're just going to see what comes out for us, okay? And these are huge cards, so it's so much fun to shuffle these. So we'll give it a few bridge shuffles. Looking for an oracle card for Leo during their birthday time, during their birthday period. An oracle card for Leo. This is it. Thank you. Over there? No? A little bit? A little more. Thanks. Almost. A little more. There it is. Oh, two? Two. Okay. And I don't use this deck often, so I don't remember the meanings of any of these cards, really. But you got two, Leo. So you got the Good Geisha. You also have Rooster Mama. Cards number 18 and 16. Let's see what they say in the book. This will take me right back to college, reading aloud. The Good Geisha. Let me show you while I read it. The Good Geisha. You are ready to opt out of a game that most people play unconsciously. It's a game of image and appearance at the expense of the true self. So many people are so used to playing this game, they no longer realize they are doing it. They don't really know who they are, and they are afraid to really find out. They live behind masks that appeal to others but slowly starve their authentic self, denying it the opportunity to experience being seen and to receive real love. Nice. There's a whole lot more. I'm only going to read like the first paragraph. But yeah, that kind of speaks to that Nine of Pentacles energy that we were talking about earlier, right, Leo? Like, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. Do you know what you're about? Because I'm about this, that, and the other. No more games. No more pretense, right? Rooster Mama. Here we go. In a world where we are taught we need permission to do almost anything, it takes guts to decide to give yourself unconditional permission to be unconditionally yourself. When you do, however, an exhilarating sense of freedom, excitement, and happiness bubbles up from within. Permission to be strangely beautiful, weirdly wonderful, and divinely eccentric creates charisma, energy, and inspired ideas. Your own opinion of yourself becomes more important than the voices of fear that want to control you because they are afraid of the power within you. You have compassion for which is enslaved by fear, but you don't buy into it. Rooster Mama sees this divine defiance in you and how it empowers you to make your own choices, to choose your own consciousness, the power to live your life in whatever way you see fit, whether others understand it or not. Beautiful. Now, and that connects there too. Wow. Nice. So when these cards came out, they came out on these two sides, right? This was towards the left, this was towards the right. The Good Geisha, I'm feeling, connects definitely to this Knight of Pentacles energy, right? It's the I'm here, I'm fabulous, I know who I am, I know what I'm about, I'm not playing any games, this is who I am, take me or leave me, right? So the Good Geisha was kind of ringing in that direction. And then the Rooster Mama was kind of ringing in the direction of the Devil, which is, I see the control other people allow themselves to be under. I see the fear in other people. I see the apprehension, and I'm not buying into it. I don't buy into that. Rooster Mama is eccentric. Rooster Mama is an individual. You know, nobody can say a Leo is not an individual. I feel most Leos, you know, in some way march to the beat of their own drum. And like I said before, the Devil card coming out here, Leo, is not to scare you. It's not to say this is what's going to happen. It's so that you're aware, so that you can combat that energy and whisk it away, kind of brush it away when it tries to impede on you and get in your way. No, Rooster Mama nor the Good Geisha is here for that, okay? All right, Leo, so that is going to be the birthday message for the birthday period running from July 23rd to August 22nd. Again, happy birthday to all of you Leos who are going to watch this. And, you know, if you're a cross watcher, wish the Leo that you know a happy birthday. I know I've got some things to look forward when my birthday comes up in a couple weeks. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff if you want to. If you don't, no pressure. And again, if you're interested in a personal reading, all that information is going to be in the description box below. Hope you guys have an amazing birthday period, a birthday month. I look forward to coming back in 12 months and doing this particular reading for you again. But you can also check me out when I do the monthlies as well. Take care, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.